Welcome back to GAA Fan TV, Clonmel Commercials, 2:15, Nemo Rangers, 1:11. A massive, massive shock once again in a provincial club championship. I mean, in similar fashion to what we seen last Saturday when we seen an absolute huge shock when Ballybay brother Pierces turned over Crossmaglen Rangers. And today has produced the exact same once again. Clonmel Commercials going in as the underdogs. I don't think as much as what Ballybay were last weekend or last week, in fairness. I think a lot of people recognise that Clonmel Commercials have a lot of very, very good players. And obviously the likes of Mickey Quinlivan, he's a standout player. Sean O'Connor was a player that I was talking about a good bit, even before he came into the Tipperary inter-county squad, to be honest. I think he's a very, very good player. You know, you've got Coleman Kennedy, who's very good. You've got Kevin Fahey in there as well. Like, you've a lot of very, very good inter-county players in that Clonmel side. Like, you've got a lot of very, very good players. And what a result, what a performance, and what a story. You know, to go to Páirc Uí Chaoimh, some of those players that were playing for Clonmel, probably the last time they were playing in Páirc Uí Chaoimh, I'd imagine, would have been that Munster final at the end of 2020. So to go to, you know, essentially away from home against Nemo Rangers and beat them, I thought it was a massive, massive shock. It really, really was. And yeah, Nemo Rangers just never really got going, to be perfectly honest. Like, it was slow, it was lethargic. Their passing wasn't quite quick enough, and defensively just absolutely all over the place. Like, they were playing man-to-man in the first half, and they were cut to absolute pieces. Like, Clonmel Commercials had so many goal opportunities, so many goal chances. They were getting in behind all the time. You know, the intricate play from the likes of Coleman Kennedy, Mickey Quinlivan, Sean O'Connor. It was just an absolute joy to behold in more ways than one. And like, for Nemo Rangers, it was just flat, really. Like, you know, it really, really was. Like, I think they only hit, 5 points from play in total in this game. Obviously, the goal as well right at the end, which was basically just a consolation. You know, it didn't make any difference whatsoever. And even about that as well, like, Nemo Rangers at the end of the game, they weren't even really going for goals. Like, they were trying to play. It looked like, I don't really know how they were trying to play, to be honest. It was very, very odd. And even watching the manager's interview there after the game, like, he didn't seem that too disappointed. He was kind of like, well, you know, we tried our best. We went out there and all the rest. And I don't mean to rap, but like, I don't know, like, you know, Nemo Rangers, for a club of that size, like, they should have aspirations to win the Munster Championship. Do you know what I mean? Like, given the players that they have and the talent levels that they have. And the fact that Clonmel were off for 4 weeks, like, you think Nemo Rangers would be coming in as the sharper side, but that wasn't the case at all. Like, it was a very, very odd performance. Looked like they were trying to play a bit of a running game at times. I felt like maybe they could have kicked long, you know, into Mark Cronin, you know, maybe send Luke Connolly into full forward or something like that. He certainly has the height. You know, a couple of times when Nemo Rangers would flow long balls in and around the square, or anytime balls sort of dropped in around the square, they had chances. Like, that was where the goal came from. They should have had a blatant penalty as well in the 53rd minute, to be fair. It was Mark Cronin who was fouled, and maybe if that goes in, you know, if that goes in, it's a 5-point game with 6-7 minutes left to go. Would they have turned it around from there? Personally, I don't think they would have. You know, if I'm going to be perfectly honest, I don't think they would have been able to turn it around from there. But you just never know. Maybe they get a goal from that moment in time. And, you know, an awful decision there by the referee, by the way, and the umpires. Like, how on earth did they not spot that? You know, you're looking at it and you're thinking, like, mother of Lord, like, you know, surely, like, especially the umpire. Do you know what I mean? Like, just an absolute bottle job there from the referee, in my opinion. But look, would it have made much of a difference? I don't think it would have. I think Clonmel Commercials were by far the better side. Jason Lonergan, man of the match in RT, and rightly so. 6 points from him, an outstanding performance. You had Conal Kennedy with 2 points. You had Coleman Kennedy with 1-1. You had Sean O'Connor with 1-4. You had Conlon with a point, and you had Luran with a point in there as well. So, like some really, really good performances from Clonmel Commercials. And even at times as well from Nemo Rangers. They were standing off Commercials in the second half, which, Jerry Canning rightly pointed out in commentary. You could see that they were just very sort of hesitant to put in a challenge, and there just wasn't really much fight from Nemo Rangers, in my opinion. And I think for Clonmel Commercials, it was a comfortable night at the office. In more ways than one. For Nemo Rangers, just looking at it here, 6 points from them. Mark Cronin with 1-2. Jack Horgan with a point. Dalton with a score there as well. Luke Horgan, who came off the bench, got himself a score as well. Just didn't get enough from their forwards. Barry O'Driscoll, nothing really from him. Connor Horgan obviously goes off. He had a fairly quiet game, all things considering. Just an unusual performance for Nemo Rangers, considering they beat a side like St. Finbarrs, who most people had as All-Ireland contenders. And yeah, it was a very, very bizarre performance. It was very, very slow. They looked disinterested. Luke Connolly was keeping them within touch and distance at times in the first half from frees. But apart from that, it was, it wasn't really a good performance. But you have to give credit to Clonmel Commercials. Like, they have well and truly arrived, and they're certainly the favourites for me now in the Munster Championship. I think Cairns O'Rahilly's, look, you certainly can't discount them, and even Aero Guinness as well. But like Clonmel Commercials have 100% arrived. Like, Mickey Quinlan in midfield was absolutely outstanding. Coleman Kennedy as well, as I mentioned. Jason Lonergan, his 6 points, but his support play was brilliant as well. Like, he's the one who plays that pass for the second goal for Coleman Kennedy, who slots it into him. And what a wonderful finish that was by Kennedy as well. What a brilliant performance from Clonmel Commercials. Make no question about that. GAA Statsman says Nemo robbed Cork football of a club run. The Bars would have done much better tonight. Fair play to Clonmel, though. And yeah, I can definitely see why yourself and many people went against Nemo Rangers winning the Cork Club Championship. It seems that inconsistency is eventually, caught up with them, and they probably had a chip on their shoulder going into that Cork final because everyone was writing them off. And maybe it suits them to be the underdog. I'm not too sure. But certainly in this game, they just didn't really click at all from them. It was very, very odd. Jack Nolte says, best team from start to finish, 100%. And Nemo just, I'm not even too sure if they led in the game at all. I think they might have got the first score in the game, but apart from that, it was, Nemo Rangers just took over. Like, once Sean O'Connor got that goal, Clonmel just really never looked back, and Nemo picked at the lead here and there with a couple of frees. But apart from that, it was very, 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 very comfortable, really, from Clonmel Commercials. And yeah, huge result for them. I mean, they did win the Munster Championship back in 2015. They obviously beat Nemo Rangers that day as well. They've got a lot of very, very good players, in my opinion. In Mickey Quinlan, like we mentioned, Kevin Fahey. And I think defensively they certainly deserve a lot of praise as well. And some of the lads I mentioned, very, very good players. Even Ross Peters was fairly involved getting turnovers as well, in fairness. Thought he did a good game. Jack says, did you watch Kerry Premier Junior final? Great game. Best game I saw in a while. Two greats made the difference. Junior football, granted, but Clifford was unbelievable with 212. Yeah, it was a wonderful performance from Clifford, from what I heard. Didn't watch the game, but I seen his point he scored to send it to extra time. And I know Colin Parkinson and a few other people are saying, it's junior football. It's kind of funny. Like, people just love complaining about everything. Like, why can't we just enjoy the football for what it is? Yes, it's junior football. Like, let's not point out the obvious here. Do you know what I mean? Boola bus there, Mr. Colin. But yeah, it was a brilliant look. 212 in a club game at any level is brilliant. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if it's junior football. Do you know what I mean? It's not like he didn't have a great game in the county final, because he did. So, but yeah, that kind of annoyed me earlier, to be fair. How's the form? Yeah, the form is good. And yeah, what a result for Clonmel Commercials. Big result. Big performance from them. 215 to 111. Are they favourites now for Munster? Let me know in the comments down below. For Nemo Rangers, massive disappointment for them. Was that result against Cork, was that just a flash in the pan? Was that just a sort of once in a blue moon type result? Is the glory days over for Nemo Rangers? I don't really know, to be honest. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below. Massive result for Clonmel Commercials. I think I'd agree with RTE and Jason Lonergan, man of the match. But you couldn't look past Coleman Kennedy, Sean O'Connor as well, who had brilliant games, in fairness. And I think Mark Cronin was probably, the only good player for Nemo Rangers, I felt. Luke Connolly, maybe so as well in terms of his frees, but apart from that, maybe not so. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below. My name's Aaron. I'll see you all in the next one.